open, if they can make some changes, anything can happen. Anything can happen.
That's true.
But again, we haven't beat a team with a winning record this year. Okay, that's
pretty bad.
That's sad.
Pretty bad.
Okay, that's number one. Other than Cleveland. I mean, I don't know what Cleveland's record is right now, but Cleveland was the only team we had beaten at the time. And I don't know what the record is now. I haven't even looked. But that was the only team that we beat that was a strong football team. And that was when we had all of our confidence. Everybody was playing up to par, and it seemed like everybody was together then. And then things started to go downhill, and it started to go downhill very quickly. Mm-hmm. Week 2 on has been bad. I'm sorry, but it has been.
It's been, well, actually, I would say week 1 was pretty horrendous. With Spags not making adjustments.
Yeah.
Then we saw probably by the third game, the offense is having issues, which we've never really seen before. But They need to get a phenomenal player that can help change this, because if they can't get someone that can change the mood of this defense, I don't even know what's going to happen, man. But real quick for you, bro. Frank Clark, do you think it's time to cut him and move on?
You can't cut him.
I have been on his side for so long, and I have not seen nothing. I have not seen nothing, and I think at the point they need to move on and figure something out.
Here's the thing, though. You can't cut him, though. You can't.
They got to do something, man, because at this point,
here's the problem.
I'm not trying to be negative, and
I'm not either. I'm on your side with that. I'm on your side with that. I don't mean to cut you off. Number one, you're not going to find a team that's going to trade for him for his contract. Okay. That's number one. Number two, what are we going to do? Have a $37 million dead cap hit? We can't have that either. So we got to figure out a way. Look, I understand the business side of this, and I get the fact that you're paying a guy this kind of money, so you want him out there playing because you're paying him to play. But in the same aspect, if you're paying him to play and he's not producing, then you've got to find somebody that is going to produce, and maybe restructure his contract. If he's not willing to restructure, then there's other ways of getting him out of this contract, but it takes a lot longer to do.
Go ahead.
But in the same aspect, that is a very tricky situation, and it's a hard one because no one, even Veach or anyone else, can predict the fact that someone's going to milk a contract the way he has. And I'm sorry, but that's what he's doing.
You think he is?
I do. I think he's milking the contract, and I'm sorry, but for the longest time, I was the same way you are. I defended him. I know about his stomach issues. In depth, and I told you what they were.
Well, and they even tweeted it out last year, and they've been saying he has been having issues. So
yeah. This year here's a little different. Now it's it goes from one hamstring to the next hamstring to this hamstring to that hamstring. It's weird that it jumps from the right to the left to the left to the right. It's just one thing after another, but yet he's just not producing. And we've only had 8 sacks on the year.
We're looking okay, and I don't mean to cut you off, JP, and I'm sorry for all the fans, but I remember a long time ago, it was about 2012 or 2011, 2012. The Chiefs were a terrible team, and I would watch every game that season. I was probably in 5th grade, maybe 6th. And I remember seeing a graphic that CBS always shows. It showed the Chiefs are on pace to have the less sacks ever by a team, and it was like 13.
Yeah, this
team is on that pace because they have no pass rush. No pass rush. And I can't really put it on Chris Jones because he's coming out there with a hurt hand doing what he can do. He got some sacks today. Frank Clark, though, man, he has not got no pressure off the edge. Mike Danna has showed some stuff. Wharton has shows and stuff, but we're just having guys that seem unmotivated. Jarran Reed, bro, like people were saying, we're not seeing what is he? There's no pressure. So I'm just as confused as you, man, trying to figure out what is going to happen. And
a lot of it's motivation. I'm telling you, a lot of it's just motivation.
You know what, man? It just shows you what happens whenever a team doesn't win. What happens? And
coaching,
because this team is really good.
Yeah.
On paper, they're really good, but the issue we've run into is the philosophy, or whatever we've been saying, that the philosophy has never been the same. They're trying to put Mahomes in a bubble, and we have a coaching staff, specifically maybe Spags at this point, he's stuck in the depth chart mindset that does not want to change how things is. And I understand that's going to work sometimes, but look, if we were to trade for a linebacker, I don't really know how that's going to help. I say if you're going to bring someone in, you got to bring in a tone setter, someone like a great. But there's no way we're going to get someone like that. It's
going to be difficult.
I hate to say this, but this defense has played a lot better But the offense, I think this is going to be Mahomes' worst season of his career, possibly. If they can't turn it around. Now, I said they would probably lose 4 games, and they're at the 4-game mark right now. Yeah. So unless they have some type of come to Jesus meeting and everyone can say how they feel, and Andy and them listen to their players and change stuff up the way that's it's supposed to change, because as many people don't realize this, the coaches are there too, but the players are the ones out in the field. And if they can't execute and they have suggestions, you should listen to them. If they're not going to do that, man, we could lose out on Tyrann Mathieu this offseason. And I love Tyrann Mathieu, but I have a feeling we're going to have a move similar to how Tyrann Mathieu and maybe, that Tyrann Mathieu, him being possibly not be signed. And as much as I want him to be here, bro, he doesn't deserve this. He does not deserve this, because him, Thornhill, Chris Jones, these guys have worked all year, and have got nothing to work out. The coaching staff has failed him, it looks like. I'm not saying who specifically, but I think every position is to be blamed, even on Dave Toll when it comes to these special teams and the fumbles. And so that's all I'm going to say right there.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, Tyrann specifically said that he was here to build this, and he is. He's here for the long haul, and I believe him. My problem with this is, and I mean, God, man, it's so hard to keep my mouth shut. I mean, it really is hard to keep my mouth shut.
I hear you, man. It's difficult.
I'm right now. It's like, it's kind of how it was for me when I sent you a birthday gift and I wanted you to open it 3 days early. That's kind of how I am with this. I'm trying really hard to keep my mouth shut, but I'm at a point to where I just want to open my mouth and just say what the problem is. And to a degree, I kind of have, but I have a feeling, and I'll leave it at a feeling, quotation marks.
I think everyone's kind of set. Sorry, go ahead.
There's going to be some changes within the personnel side of this. And I know everybody wants to blame Spags. Spags is a big part of this problem, but his problem is his unwillingness to move the chains.
Change.
Yeah. And if he doesn't decide to make that change, then he's going to have to move on. I mean, we can't have another Bob Sutton situation in our hands where Andy's buddies with him.
That's what it's turning into. And I don't know, man. It's at this point, it just shows me that the unwillingness to change and to bring in players who have been here at speed, try something new, has just not come through fruition. And I am not a coach, but from what I've seen, and we've been doing this, JP, you've been part of the game for 20 plus years, and I've been part of the game as a casual fan that been diving into it, running this account for ever since Mahomes basically started his era. I have put a lot of time into learning about this team, learning about the different things, how everything works. And I have to say, man, you helped me learn a lot, and I owe a lot to you, man. So I thank you for that.
No problem.
But for what I've seen, it seems like, and it comes to a lot of sports in general, you have people who are in positions of power who think they are right, and what ends up happening to the extent of everyone else suffers. And I can look for this hockey, baseball, basketball, GMs, coaches, and everything. And this is a time for the Chiefs organization, maybe even Clark Hunt, to look themselves in the mirror and try to figure something out. Because Clark Hunt lets them do their thing. And I always commend him. I may not like some of the stuff he's put out in the past here or there. Everyone's gonna have different opinion. But however, what I'm trying to say is maybe it's time for him to step in and see what he's doing. Because if you know, when Clark Hunt, during that season they won the Super Bowl, when they went to Missouri Western and they had the training camp, there's a video of him saying, last year we almost achieved our goal, this year we're going to do it. They need to have someone like him come and do a tone stutter, or someone. Get someone to speak with the team, man. I don't know, bring in Bobby Bell, bring in Trent Green, I don't know, bring in Jamal, bring in someone. I mean, if DT was here, maybe. I don't know, man. But you know what I'm saying, bro? Bring in someone that could talk. Sorry, what'd you say?
DT would make a difference.
Just bring in someone that could talk with them, because they just don't look like the same guys. And I hope they can turn around. I really do. But I think they need to have one of the guys who was around this team from the beginning, what rides to like a Tamba, to come there and talk with them, because this just isn't the same team. It's just sad to see.
Well, like I said, I mean, I think we're going to see some changes coming fairly quick. And I got a feeling this week there's going to be at least one change pretty quick. There I go again. Anyway, look, the tone is set. When I played ball, the tone was set by it started off with egos. Egos change everything. And I played with a couple of guys that had egos that just didn't end. And I had no ego. I was like this young punk kid that was scared to even walk up to some of the guys that I got to meet. You know, I mean, you're walking up to a guy like George Brett, which was, in my opinion, the biggest asshole on the planet. And I'll say that to this day.
Well, you're not the only person we've had that's told us that.
Yeah. So, and, but then I got to meet a guy like Frank White, that was the nicest man on the planet. And then a Bo Jackson, which was the nicest man on the planet. And, you know, all the guys that I got to meet during that era that didn't have egos. Frank didn't have an ego. Frank was not a guy that had an ego. As great as he was in his position and as a baseball player, he didn't have an ego. But then you have coaches alone, that some of them were horrible ball players or may have never played ball. But because they were in a position of power and may have gotten somewhere with that team, their head swelled up. And then they felt like, you know, their word was Bible. That has to go away. They need to humble themselves down and realize that what they have within their roster is a talented group of guys. They have a giant playbook. And something was brought up to me today that rings true. We're playing the same, you know, we haven't changed really a lot within our offensive scheme, other than the fact that we put Mahomes in a bubble for the last 3 years. And that's stuff that has to change. We've got a giant playbook. Open it up. Use it. Use the playbook for what it's meant for. Andy didn't write that thing to let it sit. And
it just seems like they're doing vanilla offense from last year. They haven't really opened it up.
They haven't opened it up. Like, and that's the problem.
They always start with the flea flicker to Tyreek Hill to bust open the game.
Yeah.
Change it up maybe and do something to where it looks like it, but it's actually going to harm it. I mean, it seems like they're just not doing what it's used to be in there. And look, I've been a fan for many years. I have made a personal decision to say, regardless if they win or lose, my life goes on. If they lose, they make me happy. If they don't, if they win, they make me happy. If they don't, oh well. But I'm at the point where it's like this. Either something's going to change, or it's going to be a big what if on Mahomes' career right now, because he has no help. He has no help. And it's just frustrating to see, because these players collectively are a great unit. They know what they're doing week in and week out.
I don't know why. And here's another thing. You know, they brought Josh in for a reason. I've yet to see him get utilized. He can be out there. I don't know why they're not putting him out there. It makes no sense.
Throw it up to him. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. You know, this was another game that I honestly thought that they were going to let Mahomes free and let him do his thing. And you saw what happened, you know, him sticking in the pocket and waiting it just a bit too long in the pocket almost got him killed. You know, about got his neck broke. And
it's just not good to see.
No, it's not. And it's sad. And, you know, one thing that was also brought up to me as well, it would almost be good, honestly, and as much as I hate to say this, it would almost be good to let Mahomes sit a game. And this is probably an unpopular opinion, but we're playing the Giants next week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, it may not be a bad plan, and it may be a bad plan. I don't know. But maybe for his own stability and his own just reflection, let him just sit, relax, and reflect on what's going on. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what else to say at this point, but I know that if they don't change things up and they don't start utilizing him to his strengths and let him do his game, he's going to get hurt. I said this 3 weeks ago that he has been getting hurt and hit more than he's ever been hit before. And today was a product of exactly what I was talking about when he got nailed. And he got hit low, and they should have called it below the knees. They should have called that, first of all. And then the one above, I can't really say a whole lot